voiceover here can do it.
Do you want me to do it, the intro?
We're already recording.
I know. Right, okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Off the Script podcast. It's been a while. We're back now, though, in full force. And yeah, this is going to be a general update on where have we been? Where has Mr. Anderson been? Where has this knockoff bad boy been?
Top Gun.
Yeah, where's the Top Gun been? And give you an update and let you know that we have got content, and we are going to continue posting content. We are back. Yes. Got a double whammy this evening. So we're filming this and then we're recording right after with Tofton, which will be the next one you guys will be listening to slash seeing. Slash. Right, so Joe, where have you been? What's been happening? What's the crack?
Not in terms of, so Colitis started playing up again a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not great. So today was my first time back at the gym in like 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
Been a bit shit. Haven't really been able to eat anything. In other news, I have put things into perspective with my wife and started looking at other avenues where, you know, I can build my character and stuff like that. Started reading again. I really want to start learning to play guitar too.
Do it, mate. Playing an instrument is huge. That has a huge impact.
Well, I play the triangle already, but, you know. At uni, doing the new course and that.
Yeah. And what course are you studying for everyone who's interested?
Strength and conditioning and sports nutrition.
Which is coincidentally, ladies and gentlemen, the same course that I do. Yeah. So I'm doing strength conditioning, sports nutrition as well. I'm in third year and he's starting his first year.
Starting again. Fuck marketing.
Yes. From the very beginning. How are you finding it so far? Have you even started yet, actually?
I start on Monday.
I got you. Have you had your online induction? Because obviously the whole
with
Rona bullshit.
With Mr. Chesworth, yeah.
I don't even know who that is, I don't think.
Darren.
Oh, yeah, Darren. Yeah, of course, yeah. See, that's the thing. My head lecturer...
It's marking it.
Yeah, I have different lecturers for a lot of stuff. Especially going into third year, my contact hours are way down, so...
I'm only there for, I think, 5 hours a week of practical, which is fine. I don't really mind.
I feel... Tell you what, I do feel kind of bad for all you new uni starters this year. Joe, obviously, included in that, but all the viewers who are just starting uni now. I'm trying to think of other people we know who just started uni. Caitlin, for example.
Yeah.
Because they have no choice now, a lot of these students, except to socialize and party within flats because of the 10 p.m. lock-off rule.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually more detrimental than having them open for longer in a controlled environment, because all it means is that there's now hundreds of uni students just on the streets or just going to anyone's flats, and it's not controlled.
It's not like, it hasn't really affected me that bad anyway, because I'm already in my scene.
Yeah.
It is my fucking scene, but with, you know, aspirations to compete and things like that, they don't mix really. And you know as well as I do, I'm an extremist person, so it's one or the other or both. And if I do both, it's not going to work very well.
See, I'm not particularly, as most of you can imagine, I'm not particularly a party animal, but I do live in the middle of Birmingham, in a residency. So you kind of, I'm around it whether I like it or not.
Man. And you've got to moderate it,
Yeah, well, to an extent. Can't really do anything, but hey, we just stay away from it. Just avoid the situations, and stick to my own guns and stick with my own group that I'm currently living with. So
like for everyone who's listening, if you are new or if you're just on campus for the first time, like this is my second go around of the merry-go-round, so it's fine for me.
Yeah.
But fucking keep your head in the game, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
In other news though, my editing company's doing good.
Good.
Portfolio is building.
Yeah.
How's Ronan doing?
It's going all right, mate. I tell you what, the launch, the initial sort of, I guess, the
Boom period.
initial moment of, okay, yeah, I'm doing this, and the support and the feedback was fantastic to begin with. People liked the concept, you know, it's not that people were buying into it yet, but they liked it. They definitely welcomed it. And I think it was, for a lot of people, especially within our circle, they were like, a lot of people have been saying to me for a while, why have you not started coaching yet?
Yeah.
You're doing a degree that revolves around coaching athletes. Why have you not started yet? So it was kind of time for me to sort of buck up my ideas and actually get into it, and actually sort of broaden my horizons as a coach, and actually apply the skills and knowledge that I know I have to an actual person. And so far I'm enjoying myself. One person who I'll probably make a post about at some point, and I think people are aware of as well, is that, sorry, let me just reply to his text, is that is that where was I going with that? Someone's
One
just asked me
person
what I want from
coaching.
goes. I need
one
chicken.
person.
I need chicken. I need beef.
We always need chicken.
Shall I say beef? I think I need beef. Beef.
20% fat, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Added fats.
Yes.
Could I please have? I might just have a Pepsi Max, to be honest.
Ooh.
Yeah. Can I have a?
I had a full sugar monster today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
You animal. Tell you what, actually, that's a story. While we're on the subject of caffeine, when I went to the gym the other day to train legs, there was a bunch of people around the reception, and I was feeling myself a bit. Actually, it was literally yesterday. I'm not able to train over the weekend because of work at the moment. So it was just a no holds barred leg day. Just ruined myself. So I went in, hit everything I needed to hit, but I had a scoop of Disturbed. Shout out to Ultimate Fitness Birmingham, and also a scoop of. And also a scoop of mutant. Is it the
Mass?
No, not mutant mass. Mutant. I think it's mutant nitric oxide formula or something like that.
Right.
Which I didn't realize also had a lot of stims in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I had both of them banged one back, one after the other. And everyone at the counter just turned and looked at me and they went, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Both of those are stim." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I was absolutely wired yesterday, and
what time did you train? 10 p.m.
I trained at. Can you imagine? I haven't slept. No, I trained at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, that's all right then.
And I was still feeling the come down at 8-9 o'clock at night. It was
best way to be, man. And you say you're not
felt that bad in ages. Not since first year when me, Tim, and Liam used to slam Dark Side for fun. So yeah, I absolutely ruined my receptors there. Where was I going originally with the whole coaching thing?
Your client that people are aware of.
Yeah, let's talk about. So one person who I want to shout out, because I've just been chatting to him as well, is Dan Mullins. So it's the reason I wanted to bring him up, right, is because he's one of my first clients. And for the people who don't know about him, which I don't think a lot of people do in this circle, is that he is, for all intensive purposes, assisted. He's on TRT currently, prescribed by a doctor, which is, by the way, incredibly hard in the UK to get prescription TRT. So he's
unless you're like 70 years old, you know. Unless you're about 70 years old.
Yeah, exactly. So for hit, and he's fairly open about it. He's done some IG lives and stuff on his feed about it, but
done some IGF-1.
IG lives, not IGF. Can you imagine? His prescription was insulin growth factor. That'd be ridiculous. NHS, sign me up. But yeah, no, he's starting, and I'm really excited to see where he goes with it, because Obviously, I am a natty coach, and
Yes.
I don't see myself ever really being in a position to make really informed, smart decisions about someone's health when it comes to the assisted side. I still think it's interesting for me because I'm now in a blessed position where I am coaching someone who is assisted, who's got all his health markers dealt with by someone else, and I'm just there to help him through the process. And I think that's going to be very exciting. So shout out to Dan. I'm excited to see where he goes with his physique. Yeah.
That'll be good, man.
Yeah. And what about yourself, Joe, in terms of
what?
coming back to your business? I know that you've
done
work for plastics.
So I've had 5 successful clients, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
In terms of logos and doing the branding for their new startups.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been good. What else? Just been trying to get it out there more.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it's a saturated sort of market.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Like, it feels very much like graphic design is time and place.
It's like, to a certain point, it is what you know, but it's more like who you know. Do you know someone who knows a lot of people if you don't know that many people?
Yeah.
It's fortunate enough, me and you started, I guess we could call it a successful podcast.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's given us multiple avenues
of opportunity meeting, actual sort of commitment to something. And that's what we've built now. And this is the podcast. We're both here wearing our shirts.
Yeah. If that was red, it'd look like Arnold, but it's too bad.
Like the bald Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah. The Boldinator.
The Boldinator.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's. I'm glad that you actually we're both making progress. So anyone listening and watching, yes, we have actually been doing stuff in our time away from the podcast. And obviously there's a bunch of other factors to do with life, and eventually life gets in the way, but life finds a way, and we are back. So as an update for you guys, we're just going to be carrying on regular uploads, regular scheduling. I think it could either be more difficult for us schedule-wise, or it could be easier because we now actually are around each other more because we both study in Birmingham. Yeah. We're both at university. So I think that actually could work in our favor in terms of coming up with content and creating stuff for you guys.
I think it's safe to say, we'll have at least one video out in a 7-day period.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In this week coming, we'll have 3.
Yeah.
So we're doing all right, aren't we? We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're good. Nice varied sort of thing as well. And thanks to everyone, Stage Talk's sort of taken off.
Stage Talk's done really well. Yeah. The viewership has been fantastic. I'm trying to think of people in particular who are very engaged with it.
Big Finn. Yeah.
Trying to think who else. I'm just going through my DMs now.
There's been quite a few, to be fair.
Yeah, there's been quite a few people who have actually been really good.
We've had some requests, to hurry up and get the Spain one out, so we'll do that too.
Yeah, we will do Spain. We'll get that up for you guys. Bradley as well. Bradley Dodd.
Yeah.
To Bradley.
Charlie Everall as well.
Yeah, Everall as well. I met him at Ultraflex Gym. He recognized me and came over and had a chat. Really nice guy. And being super. Yeah, he's on it with us. He's good. He's a good lad. Keep progressing, Charlie. I'm seeing your lifts. I see what you're doing. You're doing great. What else? Who else? Is there anyone else we want to shout out?
Everyone who's been a part of it so far.
Yeah, everyone who's been a part of it so far up until this point. Like, we've been going for how long? Have we come up to a year yet?
Not yet. So, for those who don't know, because obviously we restarted the page in January. Mm-hmm. Theoretically, as of it's very soon. It's in the next 2 weeks. We've been doing some sort of audio podcast for almost a year.
Wow. And how many have we done so far, total?
I think this is, including Stage Talk, I think we're at about 30.
No, we're more than that, surely.
No, because we did we did the January ones. So we started off with Cuba, but then we only got one out every like 2 weeks.
Ah, gotcha. All right.
Then
Yeah.
we had a break when I was away.
Yeah, and then we picked it up again quite like we came back quite strong, didn't we? After the break.
Yeah. Very close to 200 YouTube subs as well.
Which is awesome. I think we're like a couple of subscribers off, aren't we?
Yeah, Spotify's the main one though.
Yeah, Spotify has been absolutely unreal. You guys
across the board. I think we're nearly at 20,000 views, which is fucking sick.
Pretty sick. I think that's really cool. Especially if we continue to progress that and keep growing with that. Because I heard a few people have said to me, and like up until we had our little hiatus for the past 3 weeks or so, someone did say to me that they considered us to be the most consistent podcast at the current time, just in terms of our uploads and like how regular they were, and like it was also the consistency in terms of guests and like people we had on, because we had a good variety of people. We still want some more female guests on, because so far we've had Caitlin and Sav, and that shit show. So we need a few more female guests on. So guys, if you have any suggestions, let us know. Okay, what else do we want to cover while we're here? Anything else in regards to training or nutrition? Because obviously you've
speaking of training,
you've come back off the illness, so
yes, it's still a bit present, but you know, it's shit if I don't train, it's shit if I do train. Training makes me happy, so fuck it. Exactly. I'm just going to change my approach to certain things. So I will still be following progressive overload to a point, but most of it will come from like a sarcoplasmic hypertrophy standpoint now. They'll work within a higher rep range.
Okay.
You know, just because
you are now becoming the high volume bodybuilder. German volume training from now on for Joe.
Not through, I don't want to say it's not through choice, but it's like I've sort of noticed a pattern when I'm pushing food really high.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is not me being an egotistical maniac, but I get too strong for my own good.
Okay. Because
I am in like a health deficit, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I've seen, like obviously people have seen you train, and I've trained with you before, and you're not like you don't half-ass sets. So the amount of CNS fatigue you must build up cumulatively over the course of a month or so must be ridiculous. And then couple that with a pre-existing condition, I can absolutely see why you end up crashing every couple of months.
It's annoying.
It is annoying.
It's one of them things though. It's the way I love to train.
Yeah.
So I'm changing the split around a little bit.
Does this mean you're training RIR from now on then?
No. I'll still go to failure.
Okay.
It'll be failure at like 10 rather than 6.
I think that's smart. I think that is smart. Yeah.
You know, adding in things like cluster sets, maybe a giant set.
Yeah. Higher density work.
Yeah.
More bang for your buck. Yeah, that makes sense.
That sort of thing, you know, because weights were moving very fast in terms of like progressions.
Yeah.
But we're talking a matter of 40 kilos on a deadlift in 4 weeks.
Which is pretty big. It's pretty substantial.
Yeah. Pressing was going well.
Yeah.
It was all going well, but then obviously, you know, you're flying high in your Lamborghini and then you run out of fuel.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do? Like, it's not through choice, but I'm going to just have to approach things a little bit different. So yeah, it's a bit sad.
Yeah. But the news there is for everyone is that it's not like Joe is in a position where he can't train and he can't eat, which is a blessing in itself. And all it means is you just need to find another direction with it, because they're like bodybuilding is never linear, as most people know. There's not just the JP way. There's not just the Patrick Tor way. There's not
Yeah.
just the like Milos Sarcev way. There's so many different avenues you can take with it. So you just need to find what fits you, I guess.
Yeah. It's
And,
like I've got legs tomorrow,
yeah.
and on the leg press, I'm just going to see how hard I can make 4 plates aside
Gotcha.
and go from there, rather than put like 10 on a side, 11 on a side, and like I
Yeah.
can do
And
it. It's
just,
not a problem. Like you've been there, we've done it together.
yeah.
But fuck it, we'll see what happens.
Aye. Yeah. We'll
So,
see.
not to depress everyone. How's your training going anyway?
My training's going all right. I took a step back in some ways just because of lifestyle stuff. I'd started a mini cut and I had to stop it after losing about a kilo, just because of stuff that was going on in my life. And it was to the point where my stress was so high and my sleep was shocking and it was just counterproductive. And it was driving me into a hole very quickly. So I stopped, went back up to maintenance, just kept the same weight. So I stayed around 103, 104. And now we go again. Now that everything is sort of a bit more chilled out and I've got less to worry about, and less that can go wrong. So we're 103, 104. Started like pretty much midweek this week. Not massive amount of changes, just like more a case of consistent scale weight. So like there's less water fluctuation, which is good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start adding in properly the cross trainer, just 20 minutes on my rest day, just to get that expenditure up. And from there we just drop. And it's not a case of, oh, I want to drop this much in this amount of time, or drop as quickly as possible, or get as much like as close to like abs as possible, or something like that. For me,
Whatever
it's very
happens,
much,
happens.
yeah, it's very much for me a case of still in like losing the weight but still improving. Performance is for me at the moment paramount, and I'm not going to jeopardize that just because I think I need to drop my carbs a bit more so I can lose an extra pound of fat. You know what I mean? So we take it as it comes, and I'm still feeling like I'm having a very productive off season currently. I still have another year to grow. I need to have the conversation with AJ once he's finished prep, but I imagine I'll be getting back with AJ around summertime next year, which will be when I've moved out of university and I'll be back in Sheffield, hopefully in my own apartment at that point, and I'll be training near enough full time at Ultraflex, Rotherham.
Yeah.
I will still be up and down from Birmingham, of course, because you're up here, Robbie's up here, Leah's up here, Tim's up and down. He's around here as well. So I'll be here. I'll be up here as much as possible, but that will be my base camp. And I think that makes sense from a perspective of a competitor.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, this is my season, and I've talked about it before about how I want to be. I don't consider it an off season. I call it an on season, really, because you're still getting ready for a show. Even if it's 2 years away, I'm still in a prep for a show. So I want to approach it and actually treat it with that sort of commitment, which I think me moving nearer to my coach and nearer to certain people that'll help me for sure. But still, I'm only like an hour away from Birmingham at any given moment.
Yeah, it's not far, man.
Exactly. And
It'll
literally be a case of next year I finish my dissertation and I get out as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be back at my parents for like a month or two before fully moving out into an apartment for however long.
So, good, man.
That's where
moving on.
We're moving on, yeah.
It was like I had a conversation with a guy today at the gym. And he was like, you ever competed before and all this? I was like, no, not yet. I was supposed to do this year, as you know. Obviously, everything happened the back end of last year and all this shit this year.
Yeah.
So I was like, no. So I'll take the rest of the year off, take next year off, and then plan to compete 2022. He was like, that's a long time away. I was like,
That is a long
not
time away.
really. It's
Keep
not
talking.
really that,
Keep
is it?
talking. Keep
Like,
talking.
it's not really that far away, in my point of view, anyway. Because that's what, if you're doing 3 or 4 sessions a week, you got 2 years. That's only like 300 sessions. That's left for me because there's about a year and a half still. I'd have to start prep. So that's like 300 sessions. I think the math's right. If not, call me a knob. But it's not that many. And then you split that between your body parts. You probably got 100 sessions left on a body part.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
When you break it down, it's not a lot at all, is it?
But we'll see, man. We'll see. Like, I think the logical thing for me, so I don't, get in a bad mental way, is just take every session as it comes from now on. Like, I'm not going to pressure myself into saying I have to do this, I have to do
don't
that.
marry. You're not going to marry yourself to something
No.
and say, "Hey, look, this is what I need to do," even if it isn't. So I think it's probably the smartest way to do it. It's like any injury, right?
Yeah.
You take it day by day, and you might go into a session. You might go, no, today's not the day. It's just not the day, and you don't do it. So.
Yeah. Well, people think like now with all the progressive overload mentality and stuff, but I've had times where I've walked in the gym, did 1 set and left because it just wasn't feeling it. People are like, "What the fuck? No, you gotta beat the number from last week." I'm like, yeah, to a point, but
that's it. Like
I don't know.
there's no point trying to beat a number from last week if you've just destroyed your recovery for the next sessions, because then you won't beat
it's
those
just
numbers.
mentally, like, if you're not there, it's very hard to do what's necessary.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, yeah. So as it's been documented on here before, like I've sort of fallen out of love with bodybuilding a little bit.
Okay.
Just because, not to binge and fucking wine and shit, but it is crap for me. But because you get 12 weeks in, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm flying, and then you get a month of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was me. That was me after I dislocated my ankle in 2018. Those 3 months where I couldn't squat were, if it wasn't for the people around me at the time, that would have definitely been one of the toughest times of my life. Just from a mentality of it, because training, I think, for a lot of people who are watching this as well, is something that's like, it's cathartic. It's something that, like, it clears your head. Like, I know that Josh, he says sometimes that training is his balance. That's his way of going in and clearing his head and, taking that time away and, like, just, that's his chill out time. So if you get that taken away from you.
It's like one of the reasons why I'm trying not to be so one-dimensional now. I'm starting to read. I want to learn to play an instrument. I want to learn to play the guitar or whatever. Because if
Joseph
touch wood, it doesn't. Yeah, but like if bodybuilding gets taken away from me at some point for another 6 months or whatever, for reasons I can't control, I've got something else to put my energy into. I'm not just spinning my wheels and being pissed off with the world.
It's like I get annoyed. Like, we all get annoyed, let's say, if we go for a set and we don't get the numbers we want on that set. But you got to put in perspective, like, have you regressed overall? Overall, like, in every aspect, have you regressed? No.
Yeah. It's like, I want to, at the end of the day, like, you do legs, oh shit, you're 2 plates down on a squat. You wake up 3 days later, your legs are the same size, doesn't matter, You don't lose, you're not going to lose muscle because you haven't improved on a weight or whatever.
Well, like everyone knows, absolutely, hypertrophy doesn't just come down to adding more load on the bar.
No.
That's just one facet of a massive, massive picture. You've got the food, you've got the overall volume, the frequency, the intensity, because heavyweight does not mean intensity.
No,
You know,
no.
so you've got everything else. You still can train and train hard. It doesn't,
Yep.
it hasn't changed really when you think of it like that. So yeah.
I just hope all the stars align and I'm able to make it to the stage where I want to. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah. I think
even if
like,
even
no
if it's
doubt you
one.
will. No doubt
Yeah,
you will.
even if like I'm a fucking realist. Like, if it's one prep and it's the only prep I ever do, you know, I just want to be able to like, I did it.
Yeah,
So
you can say that. You can
yeah,
like, that's the thing. Like, you take the pictures and the videos, and from that point on, no one can say shit. Like, you've done the prep, you
yeah.
put the work
Of
in.
course, that's not what I want to happen,
Yeah,
but fuck knows what's going to happen. You know,
you
2
never
years
know.
ago, I didn't think I'd have this problem. So
Yeah, and my next, who knows? My next prep might be my last prep because of something that happens, but you just don't know. So you just go with the flow of it and enjoy the now. And right now, I'm thinking I want to turn pro, which is, you know, still a long way off, but that is the goal for me. So, yeah,
that's a
absolutely.
good little ending note for this podcast.
Yeah, but this has been a bit deep, but it's been an overall update and the real one at that of what's going on with us and what we're doing. We kept the shades on to hide our tears and our red eyes. But in all seriousness, thank you for listening, guys. We're back. We'll be back very shortly with Matt Tofton.
Yep.
And that'll be our next one. We'll have a catch up with Matt. He's looking very good right now. And we're recording straight after this with him. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.